This is Dairy Radio Now.
I'm John Clark, traveling the countryside for FeedWorks USA. We're in Western New York today, talking with Tanya Van Slyke, Executive Director of the Northeast Dairy Producers, also known as NEDPA.
Thank you, John, for having me today. Yes, I'm so excited to talk about NEDPA. This year is an exciting year for NEDPA, John. It's our 30th anniversary. It's 30 years since a group of farmers got together and said, we need an organization that serves as the leadership for dairy farms in New York State and the Northeast on environmental regulation, environmental stewardship. So NEDPA was founded in 1993 with a commitment to environmental stewardship. We've been at the table working with the state of New York, DEC, Ag and Markets, and other partners on environmental regulation to make sure that we're taking care of our natural resources in New York, but also that we're creating sensible regulation that actually meets the needs of water quality.
Let's talk a little bit about your members, because somebody within the sound of our voice may not be a NEDPA member. Talk to them as a dairy producer why they should be involved in NEDPA.
NEDPA is a great organization because it's farmer-led. So we have a board of directors that's 9 dairy farmers, and they drive the direction of the organization on behalf of our members.
So that's great for dairy farmers, but also industry professionals can get involved as members as well.
Yes, John. So we have many industry partners as NEDPA. We feel it's really important to work as one voice for the dairy industry, and that means all facets of the dairy industry, from farmers to our feed industry. So we work a lot with the Northeast Agribusiness and Feed Alliance. We work a lot with NIAC, the New York Animal Eye Coalition, on animal health and animal initiatives, the New York Farm Bureau, who works with all of agriculture in New York State. And we even work very closely with the New York State Vegetable Growers Association and other organizations like New York Corn and Soybean Association, because we have a lot of synergy in the opportunities that we have to work on together. And John, that's one of the things that NEDPA has been founded on and built on, is collaboration, making sure that we're representing dairy farmers in New York and their voice, and making sure that we have a future for our farmers and for that next generation.
Collaboration is key, particularly with a consolidation, whether it's at the production level or the agribusiness level.
As our industry continues to consolidate, and it's been happening at an exponential level, our resources become fewer and fewer. So working together where we have synergies, sharing our voice, and making sure that, again, the folks that are creating regulation and driving our industry in New York understand how important agriculture and the dairy industry is to the economy, as well as nutritious dairy products for everybody to consume.
And it's not just for large farms, it's for any dairy farm.
Yep, so NEDPA is founded on a forward thinking, so looking ahead at the issues. So if a farmer is aligned with what we're working on, a number of topics, whether it's environmental stewardship or workforce development, then they should be a NEDPA member, and we encourage them to do so.
Let's talk a little bit about your board, because you have a very strong, very dynamic board.
John, the thing that drives me every day is our board of directors, which is made up of dairy farmers from across New York State, as well as our members. And that's what makes NEDPA who we are. We are farmer-driven. And so the folks that are boots on the ground every day, working with their teams to produce high-quality milk, are the people we work for. And our dairy farmers that are farmer directors, I would argue, have a second full-time job when they're a NEDPA director. They're a volunteer board of directors that put countless hours into making sure they represent our membership. So NEDPA prides itself on helping farmers when there are challenges. So whether it's an independent challenge, so maybe a farmer had a farm safety accident and they just need somebody to walk them through what steps they need to take to make sure that they contact OSHA if they're required to do so, and the resources that are available for their farm workers should there be an injury. If they're looking for improvements on environmental stewardship or workforce development, we help connect them with the right people, the right partners. So yes, we're there for a lot of opportunities and the challenge. Dairy farmers need resources and they need experts in their field. So no one person can be an expert in everything. So we utilize teams where there's expertise. We also have a number of work groups. We have the Ag Workforce Development Council, which NEDPA started in collaboration with our industry that works on workforce development. We have the Water Quality Work Group that works on environmental regulation and environmental outreach. And so we bring in teams from all across the industry to work together on areas of specialty.
Tanya Van Slyke, Executive Director of the Northeast Dairy Producers, NEDPA. Thanks for being with us today.
Thanks for having me today, John.
I'm John Clark, traveling the countryside for FeedWorks USA.
Thanks, John. And more info about NEDPA at NEDPA.org. And for archive programs, head to dairyradio.com.